Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while. We're all under quarantine right now and probably going bat crap crazy. Um, so the next best thing to do when you're under quarantine is make up new recipes and try to stay keto, try to stay on track. Which I gotta admit that has not been the case here. Been a lot of stress eating. But things are starting to calm down and we're getting back on track again. This recipe is a Philly cheesesteak style sloppy joe. It's a very quick, very easy recipe. I am making a big amount of food because it's something that we can heat up and eat throughout the week. My husband can take to work in his lunches. And we like to eat the leftovers too. So I have 4 pounds of ground beef in this skillet that you saw in the picture. And the bell pepper is 2 cups, the onion is 1 cup, and it's all chopped. I'm going to add some pink salt, smoked paprika, black pepper, 2 tablespoons of the minced garlic because I love garlic. And the chaffles, I pre-made them, but if you don't have a chaffle recipe, I got it off of Pinterest. This one does not use cheese and egg. However, this is using almond flour and mayonnaise, eggs, and water. So this one is a more softer bread. And, I kind of found that, sometimes the chaffle recipes, when you do the cheese one, if you don't mix the cheese and do the cheese on the bottom and then the cheese on the top, it makes it really crunchy. And sometimes it can hurt your mouth. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started here. So I'm just going to turn my skillet on and get this ground beef, start to browning up. And like I said, so this is 2 cups of the bell pepper. We're just going to add it all in here now because we want all these flavors to infuse together when they cook, especially with the onion and the garlic. And the great thing about this recipe with the chaffles, now if you use regular bread, you don't have to make this a keto thing if you're not keto. You can use regular bread if you're not worried about your carbs. But with the chaffles and the meat mixture and everything, the whole sandwich per serving is only 3 grams of net carbs. That's what I love about it. Okay, so we've got our garlic in there. Remember, I don't measure, I eyeball, so we're just going to sprinkle some salt in there. Now we got a lot of ground beef in here, so it was a lot of salt. Now this is supposed to make, with the 4 pounds of ground beef, this is going to make 28 half-cup servings. This one yet. Now you don't have to use paprika, you don't have to use any seasoning at all. You can season it however you like. This is just what I like, and I'm dropping everything. Alright. I love smoked paprika. I put that stuff on everything, except it doesn't like to come out. We're going to do this. There we go. A teaspoon on there. Okay, so we're just going to brown this up. We're going to get this all going, and then I'm going to show you the end result here, and then I'm going to show you how to make the cheese sauce to go into the Philly mix. So we'll be back in just a few minutes. Okay, here is what it looks like all browned up in the pan. I don't want to get too close with my phone because the steam's going to steam up my lens, but this is the onion, the garlic, the bell pepper, the ground beef, all in this one pan, and we're getting ready to make the cheese sauce. Okay, so as you saw, the stuff is browning here in the pan, and we're going to start the cheese sauce. Now, remember, this is a big recipe, so I've pretty much quadrupled what I'm supposed to be doing here. Well, actually, I'm going to double this one. So for the cheese sauce recipe, you need 4 tablespoons of the butter, like to, okay, so now we're going to start the cheese sauce. And one thing I wanted to let you know is I like to keep the cream cheese out at room temperature. I like to set it out a little while before I'm going to start the cheese sauce because it's going to melt easier in the pan. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting there trying to chop it up and melt in the cream and butter. So we're going to take, this recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of butter. But we're going to use 4 today. So let me get my knife. So half a stick of butter. And you want to do this about on medium heat. And once the butter is melted, you're going to add a half a cup of heavy whipping cream, but if it's the single recipe, it's just 1/4 cup. Get my whisk out. Just don't want to heat the butter up too quickly because you know butter burns. Okay, we're going to let this butter melt and then we're going to add the heavy cream and we'll be back in just a few minutes. So we've got the cream and butter all incorporated here in the pan. I did add a little bit more butter because I realized that I want to make a little bit more cheese sauce. So I added, instead of a half a cup of cream, I added 3/4 cup of cream, and we have 6 tablespoons of butter here. And the next step is we're gonna add, it calls for 4 ounces of cream cheese for the single recipe, but I'm gonna add 6 ounces today. So we just wanna cut about right here. We're gonna take this big old chunk here and drop it in the pan. And we're gonna let the cream and butter that's hot, we're gonna let it kind of melt the cream cheese a little bit. Now I did set this out to get to room temperature. It is still a little cold, but I don't think it's gonna be a problem. All right, we're gonna let this cream cheese melt and we will be back. So we've got the cream cheese melted and it's nice and smooth. We just whisked it in there, and it, like I said, it didn't take long for the cream cheese to melt because I set it out beforehand. But here it is. This is nice and smooth. Okay, and so we just turn the heat off. And I have 2 cups of shredded cheese here that we're just going to add into the pan, and we just add a little bit at a time. And we just whisk it in there. Now this recipe, it's usually about a half a cup of cheese, but I like it cheesy, so I always add more. And then we just keep doing this until we melt all the cheese. And then we'll be back. So we've got the cheese all melted. I just add some smoked paprika to the cheese sauce because I love smoked paprika. Of course, you guys already know that. Now with this cheese sauce, you can use any kind of cheese you want. If you want it spicier, I suggest pepper jack. You can even add hot sauce to this if you'd like. But we are about to pour this into the pan, so here we go. Okay, so we've got our cheese sauce all melted and ready to go into the pan. Sorry you guys can't see it very well on this angle, but anyway, we're just gonna pour this in here. This cheese sauce is so easy to make. Okay. Now we're just gonna stir this in. Here we go. And this is what it looks like, y'all. Cheesy, creamy hamburger goodness. Now there is still some grease in here. I didn't drain it all out because I like the grease. But here it is. This is the meat mixture, this Philly style sloppy joes. So we're just going to take 2 slices of or 2 pieces of our chaffle. You can heat up the bread if you'd like. And I got to get my measuring cup here. Because this is a 1/2 cup of serving of, this just had heavy cream in it, so we're okay. This is a 1/2 cup serving. So 1/2 cup right there on top of that bread. And there you go. And you just put that on top. And there you have it. Philly style sloppy joe. And of course it's a sloppy joe because it's sloppy. But it is delicious. It is only 3 grams of net carbs per sandwich. And I did enter this into my carb manager, so if you give me a second, I will tell you the fat and the calories on it and everything. It is 3 grams of net carbs, the whole sandwich, 27 grams of fat, 23 grams of protein, and 349 calories. You have the option of making some avocado fries to go on the side, or if you just want it to eat it by itself, which is what I do because you got everything you need right here in your sandwich. So here it is, y'all, the end result. Philly style sloppy joe sandwiches. It is one of my favorite meals to eat. It's so keto. It's perfect. Now, if you don't want to add the bell pepper and the onion, you don't have to do that. You can just do the hamburger and the cheese sauce and just make a, you know, cheesy hamburger sloppy joe, you know, without the tomato-y part. But that's it, you know, and if you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, just drop them below. And if you would like the recipe for the cheese sauce and everything, you know, just drop a comment below. And also, like I said, the chaffle recipe I found on Pinterest, and it's it says chaffle Wonder Bread or something like that, and it's just 3 tablespoons of flour, 1 egg, 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of water, and a tablespoon of mayonnaise. And you mix that up, and that right there will make 2 chaffles, so 1 sandwich. And if you don't have one already, I suggest you get one of these, the Dash Mini Waffle Maker. This is perfect bread sandwich size. The only con about these is if you're making, like, the reason why I make so much is because I have a big family. The only con about these is you're going to be standing there for a long time making chaffles for everybody. So Dash needs to come out with a bigger one or like a double one or something. So that would be nice. But anyway, that's it, and I hope you guys enjoy this. I know my family enjoys it as much as I do, and hopefully I'll have some more recipes for you soon, and we'll post some more videos. Kind of hit a cooker's block. You know, there's a writer's block, but I hit a cooker's block. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye.